and we are giving cars to friends. So we're going to do back to back. We're actually going to give two vehicles. Both vehicles are the same except one of them has is fully modded, and then the other one got a blank plate and has all the mods removed. It's all going to make sense in the merge video, but in the meantime, for the person who is giving the vehicle, go to your vehicle warehouse. Let's go over the settings and everything that you need for this glitch. First of all, both people need to be friends. You absolutely need to be friends in PSN, in the PlayStation Network. Otherwise it won't work. You need to give access to your vehicles, your mobile operations center vehicle, your special vehicle, and your regular vehicles to everyone, well, at least to your friend, so that they're able to get into your vehicles. Both characters need to have a CEO office, a bunker. In the CEO office, you need to have, in the laptop, you need to go to this to get one of the businesses, which is the second business called the vehicle warehouse business. You need to have that one, the one in the middle. And in the bunker, you need to have a mobile operations center. A mobile operations center can be purchased through the Warstock Cash and Carry, as you see on the screen right now. In the Warstock Cash and Carry, it's going to be the fourth banner down to the corner right. And after you purchase it, or while you're purchasing, I forget if you can do it at the same time, you need to renovate and make sure that on the Bay 3 you have personal vehicle storage, exactly as you see it on the screen here. So how do I get here? Go to Warstock Cash and Carry, go to Mobile Operations Center, and then Bay 3, you make sure that you have personal vehicle storage. So once you've made the renovations and you purchase the MOC, just go back and check. In the vehicles in this vehicle storage, vehicle warehouse, you need to make sure that you have a special vehicle that only can be parked in the vehicle warehouse. Now there's special vehicles under managed vehicles. There's request special vehicles. There's multiple of them, but only a few can actually go into the vehicle warehouse. And they are parked in the basement. I have one vehicle for this account, but the vehicles that you can also have that will work, there's one vehicle that doesn't work for the glitch. Here I'll show you again, go to Warstock Cash and Carry. Under the import export, part of the import export DLC, there's some of the vehicles that you can use that will work on the glitch. Now there's a little circle with a little face, a little like symbol of a person. This is the number of passengers that can go in the vehicle. Minimum 2 passengers need to be able to get in the vehicle under the part of the import export vehicles in the cash and carry. So you have 7 vehicles that are eligible. You have the Rocket Voltic, the Runer 2000, part of import export. You have the Wastelander, the Armored Box, the Technical Aqua, the Phantom Wedge, and the Ramp Buggy. I didn't skip over the Blazer Aqua by accident. It's because it's not eligible. Do not use the Blazer Aqua. Do not buy it if you don't have a lot of money. And don't buy it for this glitch. There you go. So those are the vehicles that you need. Now once you've done that, both characters need to have these things. So to do the actual give cars to friends, both need to be obviously in the same lobby. The person who's gifting the vehicle needs to go into their vehicle warehouse. What I like to do is I like to invite the other person to my CEO. And then once they accept, I invite them into the vehicle warehouse. As soon as they get here, as soon as they accept that and they arrive, I immediately kick them out of the CEO, which puts them right outside of the vehicle warehouse where they need to go and request their MOC. So they're going to spawn here. They're here, so then I kick them out immediately. Then I register back as a CEO, as the gifter. They will request their MOC right outside of the vehicle warehouse. And the way that they request it is they go to their blue interaction menu, they go to Service Vehicles, Mobile Operations Center, Request Mobile Operations Center. And they send a screenshot of the location of the MOC, and the person who is gifting the vehicle will go and pick it up. Do it in that order, it's a lot easier. This location is a particularly tricky little location for parking. So as the gifter, you'll know your vehicle warehouse better than anyone else. So you'll know how to avoid gang wars and police the best. And then also how to park the vehicles to avoid any kind of traffic jam. When somebody who is the receiver goes and gets the MOC, they often don't know how to park it. So that's why the person who's gifting should be the one getting the MOC. You bring back the MOC to the vehicle warehouse, to your vehicle warehouse as the gifter. I'm going to do a back-to-back. I'm going to be gifting two vehicles. They're both going to be the same vehicle, but I'm going to be gifting two vehicles. Bring over the MOC. And the person who is gifting, obviously you want to avoid any kind of cops or any kind of gang war or any kind of issues with traffic jams. You want to make sure you park the MOC in a really good spot. There we go. So the MOC is here. I'm just going to wait for the receiver to go and get their donor vehicle. As a receiver, you need to have a donor vehicle. A vehicle that you will lose. It'll get deleted and replaced by the other vehicle that you want to receive. So keep that in mind. So if you already have a donor vehicle in the back of your MOC, you make sure that it's there. You walk out and then you walk back in. And only on the second time around do you drive it out. Now this is to prevent the glitch from not working again. It's like reconfirming to the game that indeed the vehicle is stored there. As the gifter, you get sit behind the donor vehicle and you press the pause menu, which is this menu. The reason it's called the pause menu is because it shows you as paused to the other characters. So the person who's receiving the vehicle drives close to the blue circle, they'll get a blue prompt to store the vehicle. They only press on the right on the D-pad just once. That will kick you off the vehicle, and then they go and park, or you park the vehicle somewhere. safe and away from traffic. From here, the gifter hires the receiver into their CEO and then requests a special vehicle from the vehicle warehouse. In my case, it's the Rocket Voltic. I wait for the vehicle to come back. I get into the Rocket Voltic, and the other person comes into the vehicle. As the gifter, I open up my blue interaction menu, as you see on the screen right now, and I slowly and carefully, gently drive into the garage door. My garage door here that works is the right one. The left one would not work. And then once I hit the garage door, then the receiver opens up their blue interaction menu, and then they tell me. Once they told me they have opened up their blue interaction menu, I close mine. The receiver will get kicked out of the vehicle, so they can leave the CEO and request a mobile operation center. If you both end up going into the vehicle warehouse, you need to redo this step because you've done it wrong. From here, the receiver sends a screenshot of where the MOC is located, and you go and pick it up. And so you go ahead and pick up the MOC. The other person, in the meantime, they just stand very still. They avoid fights. They avoid any kind of police problem. They want to stand absolutely still to avoid dying or any kind of issues where this whole glitch would fail. You drive over the MLC, and this is from the side of the gifter. Earlier I did a video on the receiving end. This is the giving end. Drive the MOC over, and you avoid police, you avoid gang wars, and then you want to make sure that it's parked in a good spot away from traffic, and where the person who's receiving the car who needs to glitch out will easily be able to see the blue circle. If you have this vehicle warehouse, this is how you park it. Alright, so now you wait for the receiver to get back, and you can do that by leaning against the back of the MOC by pressing R1, and then they come to the back. They make sure they see a very solid blue circle. They get in front of you, and they do the story mode by pressing down on the D-pad, selecting a character with their joystick, and they do this 3 times. I like to do it 3 times here, in this vehicle warehouse, because there's a lot of traffic. I feel like it gives me the best chance. And then I go and drop off the vehicle that I wanted to. So right here, what you're seeing on the board, you see the yellow flag. That's where I'm going. That's the drop-off zone. So I'll show you on the map. On the map, this is the vehicle warehouse. As you can see, they're glitched out because you can't see them in here anymore. And on their end, they see just a black screen. No loading, no nothing, just black. And you need to make your way over to here. Now, the way to recognize the spot is that there's a hair salon like right across, parallel to it. And then there's a little house, and it's near this blue premium races here. That's how I recognize it, by using these reference points. But I teleport using the yellow job. From here, go ahead and bring out the vehicle that you want to give. Now, once the vehicle's in the spot, the person who's glitching out presses down on the D-pad and selects the character in the story mode. They won't be able to see it. You'll have to feel it, and then you walk over to the vehicle and you press triangle to get into the vehicle. So we mentioned earlier that everybody has to have access to. Everyone needs to be able to access the vehicles. This is the reason why. Because if the person receiving can't get into your car, this glitch is going to fail. From this point on, since it's a back-to-back, they invite you over to their mobile operations center. And what I'm going to do because they're both exactly the same vehicle that I'm getting out, is I have one that I destroyed earlier. So it's under Mors Mutual.
Hello, this is Morse Mutual Insurance.
I'm going to remove it from being destroyed, and then I'm going to destroy this vehicle here. Because they're both in the same garage and they're both named the same thing, I want to be able to distinguish which one I want to be able to request later. Alright, now that that's happened, I go into the vehicle into the mobile operations center. Hopefully the cops don't follow me. As you can see, the transfer has been successful. Now I'm going to stay in the mobile operations center because I don't need to leave. They can bring in their donor car without me leaving. And you'll get to see from their end what they're doing. So need to remove this vehicle from the mobile operations center. Otherwise, if you put in another vehicle that you receive as a gift, it's going to delete it. It's going to completely delete it. So there's be a waste of time. All right, so in the Vinewood Club garage, sometimes you have to wait for the person to buy a vehicle, free vehicle. Generally, you like them to be organized before you do this, but sometimes it happens. So whatever vehicle is going to be used as a donor will get deleted. So just got to be mindful. So I'm going to put the modded FTX Eclipse Boulevard garage B1, and then not modded FTX in B2. This will allow me to know which one's modded, which one is not when I do the merge later. As always, I always encourage people to be organized. Sometimes you're doing special merges that require to be using the same vehicle twice. So you want to make sure that you know where you're storing everything. All right, so I'm bringing in the donor vehicle. As a receiver, you bring in the vehicle, you step out, and then you walk back into the MOC to make sure that it's properly stored. If this is if you're just tuning in now, or if you're just wondering, hey, why would it not show up when you walk back in? It's because you don't have personal vehicle storage. It would disappear if you try to do this. If you walked out of the MOC. All right. So from here, I can get into the vehicle and we can start the transfer again. So we're going to be transferring the other vehicle now. As the gifter, you put yourself into the pause menu that you see in front of you. And this receiver will drive the vehicle in the back of the MOC. They press right on the D-pad once when it prompts them to, which kicks you out of the vehicle. They go and carefully park the vehicle somewhere safe, away from traffic. You invite them to your CEO, they accept the invite. You request your special vehicle from the vehicle warehouse. In my case, it's going to be Rocket Baltic. Under Manage Vehicles, Rocket Baltic. Here we go. Get into your Rocket Baltic. Now the MOC will disappear. That's because the person who's receiving the vehicle has joined your CEO. If it doesn't disappear, it means they haven't joined your CEO. So keep an eye for the MOC. Make sure they join your CEO. That's a very common error and causes the glitch not to work. Especially if you do back-to-back, it's easy to eventually forget. Slip up. Okay, from here you slowly and gently hit the garage door. Once you've done that, the receiver opens their blue interaction menu, and then they tell you when it's open, at which point you close yours. There's no rush, there's no specific timing here, just in that order. They will stay in the vehicle, you will go into the vehicle warehouse, they leave your CEO, and then they request through the blue interaction menu, service vehicle, mobile operations center, request mobile operations center. They send you a screenshot of where it's spawned, and you go and pick it up as the gifter. They stand very, very still to avoid gang wars, police, anything that could kill them. Anything, if they do die, this will basically very likely ruin the glitch, and then you'll have to redo everything from the beginning. I know I say that a lot, but it's because a lot of people, they just struggle to stand still and they do end up dying, and then the glitch doesn't work, and this is the reason why. So you go pick up the MOC and you bring it back. Again, avoid police, avoid gang wars. In some of the areas, there's a lot of people walking around. You potentially hit them, kill them. Try to avoid killing too many people, running over too many people, because that could alert the police and then ruin the glitch. In this case, there's the biggest issue is mostly traffic, so I gotta, as the gifter, I know my vehicle warehouse best, that's why I pick up the MOC, and then I know where to park it to avoid traffic issues and to make sure that the circle behind the MOC is solid. Once I bring over the MOC and it's properly parked, I go and hide by pressing R1 behind the MOC. Now the receiver is going to run back. Here I'm just going to angle the camera so you can see what they do. So they're going to run behind, in front of me. They see a solid blue circle. They're going to do the story mode character thing by pressing down on the D-pad, selecting a character. and then pressing circle to not go into story mode. They're going to do that 3 times, and then they're going to enter into the blue circle and select enter alone, at which point they will be glitched out. They'll see a completely black screen, no loading screen, nothing, just black. That means they're glitched out. If they have anything else but a black screen, it means it didn't work, including a black screen with a loading white circle. That means it didn't work. To leave the game and come back and try again. But in this case, everything's worked. I go to the spot where I drop off the vehicle, and I do it by spawning there. And then I bring out the vehicle. Now earlier I destroyed the one that I didn't want. So the only one.
Need me to bring you a ride?
So you see the destroyed one is the one that I've already transferred over, and then the Future GTX that I want to transfer over now is here. So this is the one without the mods, but it does have the blank plate. I do this transfer to this account because the account that I'm doing the merges on has all the money, and this avoids this account from spending that money. Once you've dropped it off in the drop spot, which I will show you where that is. So on the map, that's the office. On the map, it's positioned here, so look carefully at the map. And the way that I know where it is there's a hair salon. Now you won't see this yellow job, but you can look at the hair salon. This little house with a $sign, and then this pink circle here. You want to park right in front of the house. And you should park parallel to those numbers. Just an easier spot for the person who's going to receive it to spot it. Alright, so now that it's there, the person who's glitched out, who sees a black screen, presses down on the D-pad and up, right or left on the joystick until they get a, are you sure you want to quit the session? Press circle, and then you walk towards the vehicle. You look around. Yes, it's funny. It's a funny little out-of-body kind of angle. And then when you get to the vehicle, you jump in. If there's a lot of traffic, what you want to do is you want to get on the passenger side. And then that way it avoids you getting into the NPC vehicles. And there you go. The person has received the vehicle. Now earlier I mentioned that the non-modded FTX, which is this one, is going to go in Eclipse Boulevard Garage B2. So I'm going to get a vehicle from Garage B2, put it in the back of the MOC. Now I do have a donor vehicle that I'm going to use. By putting a vehicle from Garage B2 in the back of the MOC, it's actually going to switch places. So the vehicle from B2 is going to go into the MOC, and the Futo GTX will go into Eclipse Garage B2. Hey, thanks for joining in. Now, when you replace the vehicles in the mobile operation center doesn't delete the vehicle, just switch places, so neither of these cars will be deleted. There you go. So receiving vehicle still works, transferring vehicles over still works. On the next video, we're going to do back-to-back merges. So join me for that.